some time ago, Pearl Thusi, one of South Africa's greatest celebrities, biggest, most known, popularly celebrated and everything, once came up with a shocker of an outfit during a Halloween celebration, which was dressed, or she was dressed in the Queen of the Damned outfit. Now, the Queen of the Damned outfit, we spoke about the Queen of the Damned outfit when we spoke about the confirmation of ritual worship or ritual sacrifice in Hollywood. After videos started coming out from Hollywood in LA showing that in front of the Hollywood sign there was a blood drop, kind of a landmark which was seen right in front, confirming ritual practice or ritual worship to be a thing that they accept. Now, based on this, I'm going to start a series breaking down Sipiri, this thing of secrecy, or either be secret church, secret doctrine, and so forth. Now, we've already done a series of videos on the secrecy or the secret doctrine of the Church of ZCC. We've done a couple of those episodes, but on this particular one, we're going to go from the sophisticated Freemasonry, the Illuminati, the whole nine yards, and how that filters into Obuloyi and the sciences that are applied in all these things. But first, I wanted to bring it back to that particular image, or those images that Pearl Thusi published some time ago, portraying herself in the Queen of the Damned's outfit. Now, if you don't remember, Queen of the Damned is a movie that was acted by the famous musician Aliyah before her death. That film was one of the pieces of footage that we had of her that before her having her plane crash. Now, remember this. Queen of the Damned ends with the death of Akai. Akai was the name of the character that Aliyah played, being sacrificed for the survival of the others, vampire survival of blood and stuff. You understand? So they fed off of her, the whole nine yards. Now remember that point, because in Pearl Thusi's pictures, she shows herself playing this character in pictures on her Instagram page. I don't know if they're still there, but you can see the pictures have been captured for the internet and they are still available. She portrayed herself in this character. Now remember, these characters are a depiction of or a replacement of something, or a furthering of doctrine, ideas, and so forth. This, as I'm saying, is the foundation of the episode that I'm about to make about the secret churches. Sipiri, dilotetat Sipiri, the things that happen in secret or portray Sipiri in a doctrine. And this was just one of the cases. And the reason why I wanted to show this particular one here is because in the light, or in the picture of what she was showing in these pictures, which Pearl Thusi was showing, she showed herself she even put herself in the cage, doing an entire photo shoot and whatnot. I don't know what the pictures were then later on used for, or maybe she was doing a performance or something. But remember, Akai's death in that movie, The Queen of the Damned, was a vampire. And as she portrayed herself as a vampire in that movie, Pearl Thusi showing herself embracing the whole image of Akai by playing these characters in her pictures was saying a lot, because one of the messages that you see from the entire thing was that she was Queen of the Damned. Remember, Queen of the Judged, the idea of those that are judged, and what were they judged? Were the vampires. Sipiri goes back to that Sipiri that we were talking about. Survival by ritual means. And she was playing that. And she knew that very well, because she put it even in her caption. It was in her caption. She knew, she understood what it was, but she wanted to be seen in that light. This is something that a lot of people, a lot of celebrities play into. They play into this ritual format or ritual. We've seen it with what's her name, Kanyimba, when she was, I think she was praying some horror stuff, where she portrayed herself with Illuminati signs, putting up the square and campus and all that kind of jazz. We've seen it with people like Questa, portraying this idea, or the idea of the, he speaks openly about his understanding about the initiative aspect of the Illuminati within the entertainment industry. He dismisses it in his project when he did an entire album off of the basis, but he shows that he knows it, but he's still willing to play into it. Why did Paul Thusi play into this? Was it just a play? What was happening? Is there more than what we are seeing? But apart from speculation, we're going to deal with a lot more other stories which highlight this particular thing. I thought this was quite an interesting one to start with. But y'all tell me what you think. That those particular episodes will start off today. One of the first ones would be the key on understanding the Illuminati structures, how it started and how you can see it in the modern, within the modern space of the secret cult emerging. We also considering the fakes of this emergence of ritual work being acceptable and how it's furthered. Now remember, we said the Queen of the Damned, Akai, which is the character that Aliyah was playing, which Pearl Thusi was portraying, she died for the furthering of others. She died as a vampire to feed the others. Now, if you go back into that idea of ritual work right there, in that particular narrative or in that particular tone or in that statement, or with true sense of that statement, it brings back one thing. And that one thing that it brings back is that there is an alertness to ritual form when people make a submission of themselves to these things, or when they portray these things, they show that they are aware of what is implied. Ritual factors or ritual practices or ritual work being implied within a lot of things sometimes gets dismissed because we might not have proof. But we're going to show that there is a lot that have provided us with a certain line of proof. Why was Pearl more willing to portray this character of a guy who dies in vampire ritual to sustain the others? Now, in a lot of rituals, people give themselves to further others. In a lot of rituals, people give themselves, and they might get into rituals that they themselves don't fully establish and leave those rituals to others. And you will see that in the narrative of the Illuminati as it comes up with the Freemason counterpart there, is that others do things in order to further the organization as a whole without full understanding of the rituals that they are partaking. And Hollywood and all these acting characters and whatnot, you will remember very latest, South Africa was in Mubango, had an entire thing with Ama Boys or Itogoloshi and all these things. They had these characters play into the storyline of what we were seeing. Why? It furthers the ideas and it furthers the narratives of the stories being produced, or also dictates how further others can go with it. The same way with rituals. Other people might find the foundations of these rituals, others further it. We spoke about that same thing also when we spoke about the story about the unpopular podcast. In ritual formats, what happens is that others lay foundations that others then tend to fully push further. The ideas of Hermes and so forth, and the Hermetic order of the Golden Dawn's base format of principles are seen also in Freemasonry as well. And remember, in Freemasonry, with the whole thing of the G represented as generative principle, it goes back into those ideas that the principles are laid up and others further them. And so with this entire thing, one thing I want to lay out, self-sacrifice for others to be furthered, or for others to be sacrificed, for others to be to be furthered, or to further the agenda as it goes forward. This is going to be very key. Even when you look at people like Henry Kissinger, or people that stand for the New World Order, who's been all about the New World Order, is aware that he might die before it is actually established, but he stands for it. He is all for it, for the destruction of the economy. Whether we suffer or what, he doesn't care. He just wants the New World Order, which is the order of the Antichrist, to rise. This is quite interesting and important for us to lay down the foundation. I wanted to use this story so that we can go back into that. Why do people like Pearl Thusi portray themselves like this? They don't see that they are furthering the agenda. It is on the basis of what they have done in their time that others will come back and further the agenda of the Illuminati as it goes forward. It's Ricky. This is going to be important to the next episodes.